Okay, hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the KZ ZAS. This is a new earphone from KZ, about $75, really interesting. We'll get into that in a second. First of all, if you're new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'll give you two reasons right away, as I always do. First of all, if you're subscribed to the channel, you're entered in all future giveaways. This month we're giving away a set of the BESaudio Legacy 2. It won't be that set because I need to keep it for comparisons. But yeah, that's going to be the earphone. I'll get a brand new set sent out to you from Amazon or Linsol or somebody. I'll get them sent out to your address, whoever's won. There's only 1,000 subscribers on the channel, so go ahead and subscribe. You got a 1 in 1,000 shot at it. The other reason to subscribe is that we have an awesome community here. So anybody that's subscribed, go ahead and leave a comment asking for direct head-to-head comparisons, recommendations, that sort of stuff. I'm making videos based on what you want to see. So all you have to do is ask and say, I want to see this compared with this. I want to see this compared with this. Anything on the channel that you have seen before can be compared, and I will do a video based on it. If not, I'll leave comments. I respond to almost every single comment that people leave. The community is fantastic. Other people I see in the comments are helping each other out. You know, there might be something that I've not heard that somebody else has heard, and they see the comment and they leave their advice. And I think that's the thing. Like, the more data points you can get before you make a purchase, the better your purchase is going to fit your needs. The days are gone where we can walk into a shop and we can pick up this and head-to-head them and then walk out the shop with this. You're buying online, and that's going to be one of the first things that I want to talk about when we talk about KZ earphones. KZ earphones are super popular. They have, in a lot of ways, revolutionized the cheap earphone market. They came out with a thing that was like $15 years and years ago that looked like a campfire audio earphone, and they sort of took the market by storm because it was cheap, but it sounded good. And for a lot of people, that's what they need. A lot of people cannot spend the sort of money that we spend on earphones or audio equipment. They need players like CCA, Tin Hi-Fi, Moondrop and stuff like that to come along and offer them the value of stuff that I wish existed 20 years ago when I started like collecting earphones. When I bought my first set of Shure E2C and Grado GR80. Actually, leave a comment down below and let me know what you started with. What was your first set where you were stepping up your game into the, not just using whatever you got with your cassette player or your CD player or whatever. What was your first set of earphones? I know for a lot of people it's probably going to be stepping up from the earpods that came with your iPod. People use that and then they wanted something a little bit better. And shout out to Anything But iPod, the old website that used to help people with that. This with KZ has manifested itself into a bit of fanboyism, where people start to buy stuff based off of KZ's reputation. KZ's reputation is hyped where they bring out something that's fantastically good value, but at the same time, KZ bring out more trash than any other company I've ever seen. KZ probably have a hit rate to me of 25%. So 25% are good earphones and 75% are absolute trash. That are easily like where you could take something else for the money and get better performance. When we say that, the problem with this is that with this sort of hype, people see pre-orders or blind buy as soon as something's released. On the day that something is released, somebody will instantly purchase it and sort of hope, oh, it's got 16 drivers and 72 dynamic drivers in it. That's going to be fantastic. So they jump on it and then they get it, and then, opinion comes out that it's kind of trash. Don't do that. Don't blind buy something. Wait until reviews like myself or some of the other reviewers online are up and people in the comment section, the forums. Don't just blind buy something. You can blind buy after doing your research, but don't just blind buy upon release and order it at the first minute. But recently KZ have been sorting a lot of the issues that I've had with them out. For one, KZ has for the longest time had the worst cables on the market. Absolutely horrendous cables. And I've bashed them every single time in my reviews. I've told them how terrible they are, but they don't listen. It's like banging your head against a brick wall. Finally, they fixed that. This is the, as I say, the KZ ZAS. This is the box, absolutely bog standard KZ box. It can come in a mic and no mic version and a black and a white version. I think the black are good looking, but I really like the look of the white as well. On the inside, you get one set of tips. Well, you get 3 sets of tips, different sizes. You get small, medium, and large. It comes with the mediums installed. They're not great tips. You need to go in the long run buy a pair of Spin Fits or Final Audio E-Series tips. Will be a significant upgrade. The cable that is included is a massive step forward for them. I say I've bashed their cables for forever. The rat's nest, they retain memory, they're horrible to use. This one, massive step forward. It's not perfect, but for the money, it's not terrible by any means. You can see it didn't tangle. It just opened itself up, didn't tangle like they usually do. It winds up a lot easier, and it tends to stay a little bit more well behaved. It still has a little bit of memory retention, and it is still prone to tangle. It's not like something like a Linsol Nymph cable, which is just super resistant to it. It is 3.5mm jack termination with a jack point with a little bit of knurling that's actually really smooth, almost like decorative knurling, so it could be a little bit rougher there to help you get a grip on it. A little strain relief there and an octo braid, so 8 strands in the middle. Really nice. It's got nice flow to it. Big step up from the previous earphones. A nice metal splitter. They've just done such a wonderful job in what the is that? KZ, bad. What the hell have you done? You were doing so well. This microphone is the worst microphone I've ever seen on an earphone, point blank. I bought earphones at the dollar store that have a better microphone than this. It is the cheapest plastic you could ever imagine. The button feels horrible and the sound quality is absolutely trash through it. Horrible. Do not order this earphone with the microphone. Order it separate, order the microphone removed. Definitely do that. KZ, get your act together. Put a little metal dongle if you're going to offer a microphone. Otherwise, just cut it out. Other than that, as I say, it is a good cable. The strain relief, quite long. Not strain relief. The ear hook's quite long on it. Sit behind the ear quite nicely contoured. Plastic 2-pin hooded QDC connector on it. If you are buying these earphones and you're wanting to upgrade the cable further, you need to go and buy a QDC standard with the little hood on the top of it there. They are available, but just not as available as a lot of the aftermarket cable manufacturers. The Western ones sort of neglect this standard, but I quite like it actually. And the reason I like it is that if you take the earphones here, you can see the protrusion out the top there. My problem with normal 2-pins is it can be a little bit fiddly lining them up, plus it offers no protection for like sweat corrosion resistance and stuff like that. The hood sits over the top and effectively it forms a seal. So it's a little bit hard to do it on camera, but you can see forms a seal over the top of it, and it feels really solid. So really like that. Let's put the cable to the side, talk about the earphones quickly. Build quality, fantastic. KZ are starting to nail it with their build quality. It's still that plastic resin shell, but this faceplate on this is super nice. It's a metal outline and then a little white insert with a gloss finish and the KZ logo and reflective, mirrored finish on it. It looks really good in this clear color where you can see the configuration of the drivers on the inside. It's a 7 balanced armature, 1 dual dynamic driver. I think it's dual dynamic driver. We'll talk about that when we get into the bass. But yeah, in terms of construction, we have metal nozzle and metal grills. Really nice looking, nicely made earphone. Sound quality, it's good. It's not, it's a consumer sounding earphone. It's on the bassy side. It's got decent clarity. The only issue with the clarity is that the mid-range sits so far back in presentation from the sub bass that it kind of gets lost a little bit in it. And the soundstage isn't that big because it's got very smooth and rolled off highs on it. It's not a sparkly earphone by any means, but it's a decent sounding earphone. It's better than decent. It's slightly, let's say, 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10 for the price point. The ones that I'm saying that in comparison with is things like the Tin Hi-Fi earphones, the T2, T3, T4, the Moondrop Aria, which I think is the gold standard of tuning. This is a beautifully tuned earphone, very Harman-esque. And also this is a better constructed earphone with an all metal body. This is better looking, I would argue, and it's probably better suited towards bass heavy genres. If you're listening to EDM, rap, hip hop, that sort of stuff, and you like a good thump, this is going to give you it. It has very deep sub bass response. It's not tight and controlled. It's a little bit bloomy, and the mid bass is not as fast as something like this, but in terms of quantity, this one's got the better quantity. This one's got a little bit better quality. The mid-range it's not lacking clarity, it's just lacking prominence. It's got good clarity, good clear, smooth, slightly warm mids. It's not an analytical earphone, it's not trying to be, it's trying to fit the need of the everyman. I think everybody makes the mistake that KZ are trying to attack the audiophile market all the time. These are huge on Amazon, or KZ earphones are huge on Amazon, and it's not just people like you and me that are watching these videos and care a lot about our earphones. It's just people looking for something that sounds good, looks good, and KZ try and hit that market, and they do it very, very well, because this is, for a consumer sounding earphone, it sounds absolutely fine. The highs, as I say, there's some detail in there, but it's not pushed as extensively as the low end, so it's not exactly like a V-shape earphone. It's good, it's easy to drive, it should have no problem with your phone. It works well with a lot of like the popular genres. It's not something I would pick up for like orchestral jazz, drumming, that sort of stuff, rock. I think the Arias are way better for that. But yeah, for the price, $75, $80. I'll leave the links to these earphones down below, along with a couple of other recommendations, the tins, as I say. I'll leave those links so you can go and check them out yourself. This is the KZ ZAS. It's dramatically improved from KZ earphones of the past. I like the direction that they're going, and yeah, I can definitely recommend it, but if you do not buy it with the microphone. Okay, thanks for watching, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next review.